What's up everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Friday, November 1st. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Dog Rune token, but more specifically, how the Dog Rune token as a free and fair movement is compared and performing against Cabal tokens. Now, I'm going to share with you a Cabal token that's actually fallen in price and was heavily affected by a specific whale. But also, I'm going to share with you why the Dog Rune token has retraced. It isn't because we have communities selling their bags. It's mainly because of the markets, not just within Bitcoin, but also in stock markets as well. I'm going to share with you data and analytics to share with you why Dog Rune token is going to be the next new meme coin that's going to pump across all blockchains, and why free and fair movement is the meta this cycle. So with that said, let's go ahead and begin by smashing that like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join our Patreon page, and most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So as of right now, the Dog Rune token is down around 4.59%. Now it went as low as around 370 million market cap, has slowly retraced back, so we're kind of consolidating halfway back and forth. But what you need to know is that this isn't due to just Dog taking a retracement. It's also because Bitcoin retraced even more. It's down 68,000. Just yesterday, it was at 70,000. So it's down 2.25%. So if you're thinking that this is only happening to the Rune ecosystem, it is not. It's actually also happening in real life assets, such as the stock market. Look at the stock market. Just as of yesterday, the stock market was completely wiped out of a $1 trillion. That's absolutely crazy. So whatever is going to happen in the tech industry is also going to happen to Bitcoin, even though sometimes they're not correlated and sometimes they are correlated. But I think that this is just happening because we have the elections coming up here in November in the US, and that's ultimately going to be manipulated in the price on both the stock market and in Bitcoin. So when we look over the community sentiment over Dog, look at this. We just reached a new all-time high of community votes. We have 16,000 plus votes, still at 94% bullish. That to me shows that this community is ready for the meme coin super cycle. Now let's look into other things. So what do whales and sharks do? We always buy the dip. So when we saw that Bitcoin was taking a slight retracement and pullback, what did BlackRock do? Well, BlackRock decided they're going to accumulate 318 million worth of Bitcoin, and that was just as of yesterday. So they're accumulating, and this is what happens when people have a ton of liquidity. They can end up buying the bags of paper hands, aka Bitcoin, and this holds for long term because they don't have to worry about finances or money. And that's why I want you to think this exact same way. Now let's cut to the chase. Let's get to the nitty-gritty story around this new Cabal token. Now this token is called Bitcoin. That's funny, right? So this token ended up getting liquidized because of one whale. It had a market cap roughly around 258 million, dropped as low as 108 million. And why is that? And it's mainly because this was a whale that took out their profit. So roughly around 24 million of these Bitcoin tokens gave them $5.34 million in profit. That's nearly a 52% crash. That's absolutely nuts. But here's the thing. This token was actually pushed by Murad. Now, if you don't know Murad, hopefully you're not living underneath a rock, but Murad is one of these people that really came out as a meme coin influencer, a meme coin personality, a meme coin guru. But I need to remind everybody, you need to be very careful with that. When there's one name that's pushing specific tokens, it's very dangerous, even for Murad. Again, Murad is just this year's meme coin, personality. There are many different personalities over the years that we've had for different narratives. Murad is just one of those things. So don't think that just Murad is the only person that's just pushing these tokens. Now, Murad is pushing his community to buy these tokens. There's nothing wrong with that. These are his bags. But nonetheless, he was shilling Bitcoin as one of his promising projects. And nonetheless, there was somebody that did take that profit, which we saw reflect in the market cap. So this is why we exactly say stay away from Cabal tokens. Cabal tokens typically don't have a really strong community base, aka it's not free and fair. This is why we really dig Dog that focus on free mints, free airdrops, whatever that free and fair meta is. That's what runes are becoming to be, because there really is less of the insider trading within that field and less whales, because it's really hard for people to buy runes right now, but more specifically Dog. Dog is the only token I want to talk about. So let's talk about the Dog community because it's very organic. Even Rob from Digital Asset News discusses that the Dog Rune community has an organic supportive community that continues to show up every single day regardless of the red days or the green days in terms of charting. And this is what many of these other Cabal tokens don't have. They have influencers with big bags shilling tokens, but they end up treating you as exit liquidity. Even in the dog Rune ecosystem, there are many more whales that actually have more tokens than I do. And I'm still promoting working harder than they are. Or maybe they are working just as hard as I am. The whole point is that everybody within dog is equal, is fair. Everybody has to push this token for themselves and educate others to onboard. And this is why I always talk about dog. It's just completely organic and grassroots. Now, another thing I want to talk about is how Runes is catching the latest headlines within capital investment hedge funds, such as Cabal investments. So they even said that all of Bitcoin's transactions growth in 2024 is from Runes. This is why you really need to pay attention to data. Data tells you what to pay attention to and why you need to get ready. And also, if you didn't know, yesterday, Ordinals said this: 99.5% of transactions in this Bitcoin block that was minted were Runes related. Meme coins are now the #1 activity on the Bitcoin network. We even have Velaroshi, who also owns a YouTube channel, accumulating as much as he can. He ended up buying 3 stacks, 3 different lots of Dog Over the Moon, which is the 889,000 tokens that were airdropped to people, and each one's roughly around $3,000 to $4,000. So he ended up accumulating 3 of these bags. Now, you need to remember, fun fact, Dog is backed by Bitcoin. So if you're focusing on Dog with Hat on Solana or Shiba Inu on Ethereum, they actually are built on a lower market cap testnet chain, which is very small. We have Ethereum in the 300 billions, and then we also have Solana in the 80 billions. It's not that much compared to Bitcoin's $1.4 trillion. Another thing I want to remind you is this, okay? So we did have October, which was Uptober. It did follow the same trend as every Bitcoin happening. It was in the green. It ended its month in 10% plus. Now, 4 years before that, in the last Bitcoin happening in 2020, it was up 27%. And back in 2016, it was 14%. Now, if you pay attention to November, yes, right now it's negative 33%. But look at 2020, 42%. Look at 2016, 5%. Look at 2012, 42%. That's crazy. So when you're looking at this, you have to pay attention that this potentially is going to be MoonVember. That means this month we haven't seen the major pump yet for Bitcoin. If this does happen, this could bring Bitcoin's price from 69,000 all the way to 100,000. Even if it's to 80,000, it's going to push every other coin, especially Rune's ecosystem, to the upside. Now let's get into the charting analysis. So this is the exact price of Dog right now. Look at this. It's still part of the cup and handle pattern. This is the handle. So right now, like I said before in yesterday's video, we're possibly going to consolidate, and as low as we can go, which is the 350 million markup, that's the lowest I think that this specific token is going to go, because right now we're seeing massive accumulation. And look at this. If you look at the RSI, we're actually in the oversold territory, which means we're taking a breather, and that also means we're also getting ready for the next leg up for the next bull market. So what I'm expecting to see is that we're actually going to retrace back to the upside, and that's U-shape. It's going to complete the U handle, and at some point we're going to be here for the next, I say, few days or so. So we're going to be consolidating for the next few days. So if you see the token price go up and down, it's going to be completely normal, but that's the most important part, which is to dollar cost average. I know that emotionally this doesn't feel like the time to be buying, but that's because people don't buy when things are dipping. People usually buy things when things are pumping. That's the FOMO. That's what FOMO is, fear of missing out. But sharks and whales, we are always buying these dips, as you can see. So if anything, for the next few days, this is the dollar cost average zone right here. So that's my conclusion and statement. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen with Bitcoin's price, with the stock market, even with the Runes ecosystem. But the whole point is that I'm trying to make these videos every single day to educate you, to not focus on your emotions. Emotions actually work against you when you look at the market, especially when you look at the dog price. When you're looking at the dog price, you're only focused on the emotional aspect. But when you focus on the long term, you'll notice that right now the Runes ecosystem only makes up around 0.05% of Bitcoin's market cap. Dog alone only makes up 0.03%, while Shiba Inu and Dog with Hat and all their chains make up between 5 to 7% of that native chain. Now that is crazy. So if you think of those numbers, you know that these are buying opportunities for the Dog Rune token. So I'll leave that to you to think about. We'll see what happens over the weekend, but it's going to be a wild ride this month. So get ready. It's going to be absolutely fun. So if you really appreciate the content that we've shared on our channel, especially on X, please subscribe to the channel, like that button. Don't forget to join our Patreon page to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding Dog on the Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.